Good afternoon, everybody. I'm back again with a new look this time using my Danessa Myrics Lightwork Volume 6 Freedom Palette. And this is a palette that's pretty pricey and it's very diverse. That's not the word I was looking for. It's very differentiated, still not the word I'm looking for. Um, you can use this palette in a lot of it's a multi-purpose palette. You can break it up and take it with you. uh Honestly, I don't know what I did with the little pocket pouch that you can take it in if you want to stack the palette in on top of one another. I don't know what I did with the palette with the pouch, but I think it's upstairs somewhere. But I'm going to bring you a look today using this palette. Very last minute that I decided to use this palette, so bear with me as I attempt to use my Lightwork palette. And I haven't used uh, her palettes. Um, I have the Blooming Romance palette, and I haven't really figured out how to use it. But I'm gonna go in. I don't know which shade is the soft shade and which is the powder shade. I'm not gonna dig in it at this moment. So actually, do know the one that's hard for me to get to. Okay, so I'm going to take Evermore, the powder shade Evermore. Just finally washed all my brushes Friday, and I'm only going to try to use a few brushes. I'm going to use my MSQ brush. They don't have numbers, they just very affordable brushes on Amazon. I'm going to take this brown shade. Ooh, I didn't know it was that pigmented. And actually, that wasn't the shade I wanted to go in. I wanted to actually take a dark burgundy shade. This look that I've done is inspired by Enamored Beauty. She just did a look on Instagram this morning. Her look was inspired by someone else from Instagram. I don't know who the other person was, but I decided put the shade in my outer V. I decided to just go with her inspiration because she did a very pretty look a little while ago. So finally digging into the Blooming Romance. And I'm going to just bring it all the way into my crease. I think this shade right here, I, if she had embossed it in gold or silver, I can read it, but I can't read these words. Let's see if I put my glasses on. I mean, the letters are bigger. The letters are big enough. I just can't see them. It's a glare. Love sick. Actually, I would have liked to have used Love Sick, but then the powder shade is actually not the same. See? Let's see. All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna leave that be for now. And Sansaray actually used, can't do it with the glasses on. She actually used the Fall Romance palette by Natasha Denona. I'm so sorry. That is my mistake. It is not by Natasha. It's actually by Anastasia. And this is the Fall Romance. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Crimson, the shade Crimson. And I'm just going to go over Crimson. I don't remember what that name was for the brown shade that I just used out of the Blooming Romance palette. I don't remember what the shade was. So I'm just going over it with Crimson. Even though Crimson is supposed to be a type of red, I'm not getting red out of this brown shade. Okay, let me sit that here and just gonna try to blend that out. Okay. Let me take the top of that palette, set it off to the side. Oh. And I'm gonna go into a shade. I think I wanted to go into the 'Tis the Season palette by Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Beauty. Take this shade, Mulled Wine, right here. And I'm gonna take the same brush and try to blend that into that brown. Not try to cover it up, but just say when you look, you'll see that there are two different shades here. There's a brown, a mulled wine going into a Cabernet. If you can see, okay, there. Now we're gonna sit. This won't be just used for 'Tis the season, the holiday, Christmas holiday season. I'll be using this palette much more than that, but we are still sticking to our cool tones. I don't know if this is actually going to stay, excuse me, as a cool tone look, but I'm gonna try to keep this brush count down because now I'm gonna take Actually, since I washed all of the brushes, I'm gonna try to take one of my I was gonna try to take one of my rougher brushes, but I know it's probably at the bottom of all the brushes. And there's a crown brush. I might use that one as well. So in the Lightworks palette, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, this lovely blue shade. And probably should have put down the glitter glue. And I'm thinking you possibly, can you even hear me? Let me try to turn the volume up, see if you can hear me. All I have on my eyes is the um, Plain Makeup by Yolanda eyeshadow base in the shade H. This might not be keeping along the lines of my cool tone theme. And I know Danessa would kill me for doing what I'm about to do. But this actually wasn't the only shade that I wanted to use. So I'm going to close this palette now. It's magnetic. It's a loud truck. And I have a couple of shades that I was trying to find the right shade. I didn't actually want to use the same shades in the Fall Romance palette. So I have my Longing palette out and I'm going into the shade If Only. This shade right here at the bottom. That's If Only. And I think I'm also going to spread a little Wet n Wild setting spray. Danessa, I was trying to get more of a green, blue, teal like shade shadow. Yours was a little too blue. This one actually was the shade I should have just gone with in the first place, if only. And I'm not done. I have one more, maybe two. I have, I thought about using the Bubble Time Press Pigment Palette by Unique Beauty, but that's not the right. This is too green. So we're gonna set that aside. And then I have the Glam Shop Poland Laguna palette. And then I thought about even going over what I've done with this shade called something Atoll, I think. And I'm just gonna see if I can pack it on even a little more. All right. And both of those last two palettes, this and the Unique, were gifted to me by my friend Lynette from LBD Beauty. And now I'm just going to come back in and try to blend that together. Actually, I see I brought it further over on the left eye than I did on the right eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with, let's just see what pulls up. Um, Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. And I thought I would have my Amicole foundation before I did another video, but that didn't happen. So the only foundation that I see in front of me is the Morphe. The Morphe in the shade, I don't know. I can't see it, but this is the Morphe foundation. I normally don't drink coffee this late in the day, but your girl got a nice headache. Okay, you take that off. I'm gonna put it and that's the shade. Seems like it's a perfect match. Let me see. I don't know why I like to wet my brushes. It's not like I've seen other people do it, but I just like moistening my brushes. Does that seem, it seems like it's a little too dark in front of me, but it doesn't seem too dark in the mirror that I have next to me. And thank you for wasting foundation. I hope Dawn will get this out. I hope Dawn will get it out. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my Sephora concealer, Best Skin Ever concealer. I'm gonna take that. Take that, and it's in the shade 33.5Y. 33.5Y. And I'm going to use the same brush, my foundation brush. And I'm using a brush because, as usual, I forgot to moisten my sponge. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier. Give me a second, please. 1 second. Okay, I went ahead off camera and applied my lashes and my foundation and my powder. I used the Laura Mercier setting powder in translucent honey, and I used my eyelashes that I got from Amazon, Alley Crown lashes. So this lash is not on the right way. I had issues trying to see where to place it. But, and I also set my face with the Rimmel setting powder in the shade Toffee, 025 Toffee. So now I'm just going to, and I also contoured my nose and my face with the Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, the medium to dark. This is the shade. So now I'm going to go in and add a blush. And so I'm going to use I think I'm going to try to use this blush volume 4, and if it's too bright, I'll go over it with blush volume 1. So I'm not afraid to mix to get the shade I want. So if I need to, I'll just mix those. So I'm going to start with the blushed. I'm going in so light with it. I don't even have to tap the brush. And I see that shadow is it's moved over, but it's all right. This, I can see this lash is just not on right, so I'm gonna leave it where it is, and I'm just gonna have to start over with another pair. Not today, but I can dispose of this. Okay, I like that. And I'm still gonna go over it. Okay. And then I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place. This is not the brush I want to use. I know I have the brush that I want to use in here because I washed them. Here it is right here. I like to use these BH Cosmetics. And this is BH Cosmetics. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one. If it has a number on it, I can't see it. But these are usually the brushes I like to use to apply my highlighter. And again, I take just what's in the top. So much comes out. So much comes out. And then I'm going to take big my big Japanese brush because and just try to brush away as much as I can. And then I'm going to go back into I can go back into the Danessa Myrics palette if I knew what I did with it. But I don't know what I did with it. So also wanted to try to use a shade from Sydney Grace. Sydney Grace actually has a black shade instead of a brown, so I'm not going to use that. The palette that I was going to use from Sydney Grace. I'm just going to have to go into Crimson. That first shade, that brown shade, and this brush is a little too stiff. I'm going to lose this back over here, and I'm going to use the same brush because I don't want to keep messing up more brushes. I'm going to go back to, and what failed was my little e.l.f. acai little bite-sized palette, and the shimmer shattered. It didn't shatter, but it broke. I'm going to go back into, that shade says Atoll. I'm going to go back in that shade right there. Got a little too much. And I'm just going to bring that down and around. Okay. And this is Glam Shop Poland. Okay, so that's that for the look. I'm gonna go in with my liner. I'm just gonna pick a shade that's open. Nika K is either in Cocoa. This pencil is a little dry. And as much as I love red lipstick, I'm finding myself for some reason not being able to wear red lipsticks a lot. So I'm gonna go back to my Wet n Wild in the shade Java, which is less than $2. You can find it at your grocery store or Walmart. Uh, Actually, I found it at my grocery store. It's hard for me to find it anywhere else. And just hit that shade. And then I go over it with the, this time I'm just gonna go over it with the LA Colors. This one is not, is it open? I'm just gonna go over it with Wet n Wild, not Wet n Wild, LA Colors lip gloss. It's in a nude. There's a shade color, but I don't wanna. So this is my look for today. Um, I'm not gonna spray my face. I'm not gonna spray my face because I'm not going anywhere but to take the makeup right back off. But this is my look, and I hope you enjoy this look. I hope you enjoyed this look, brought to you by my Danessa Myrics Lightwork 6 palette. Again, I don't know what I did with it. It's around me somewhere. Danessa, Danessa Myrics Lightwork 6 palette, the Glam Shop Poland um, Laguna palette, and Unique Beauty. I don't know what the name of that palette is, but this is my look. It is a little cool tone. Is it cool tone or is it warm? But you know, it is what it is. So if you like this video, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Let's grow the channel. Leave me a comment about the look. This eyelash is not working. The eyelashes again from Amazon. Um, Can't wait to bring you another look. I need to bring back my Sydney Grace and Tiptalia collaboration palettes. I can't wait to dig back into those palettes. I love them. But I'm using what I have. 2025, I'm using the palettes that I have. I have unused palettes, palettes that are barely used. That's what we're doing in 2025. So you can buy your palettes, but I'm holding strong. I'm not buying palettes. I'm using what I have. Foundations, everything I have. I have everything I need to last throughout 2025. So hold strong with me. Again, if you like this video, thumbs up. Leave me your comments below. Check out my pics on Instagram at JonesGirl70 or at It's a Jones World, and my TikTok at Doc Mojo. So I will see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful weekend.